I've spent a lot of time putting mods together that work well and complement each other in a way that completely revamps everything about Minecraft. Trees are massive, dozens of new biomes, improved structures, all new textures and animations, over 100 new animals and unique animal specific armor, and several mods that make the world more immersive, first person model and animations, dynamic camera, etc. I know people want a mod pack. I cannot do that with these or this many mods. Too many mods on this list aren't allowed to be included in a mod pack, require a direct shout out, or their individual link to be in the description. But don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. I did make a video listing all of the mods I am using to the best of my ability without stepping on any toes. That video will be suggested at the end of this one, or if you're only interested in that, it's already up on my channel. I do apologize for the lengthy intro, but without further ado, let's play Very Modded Minecraft. Right away, I liked the spawn, and I wasn't going to bother generating a second world because I love that forest. I knew that I was going to want to live there. I started looking for food immediately because with there being over 100 additional mobs added, I was concerned that my normal food source like sheep, cows, pigs, etc. weren't going to spawn very frequently. I've seen a couple of raccoons, but I wasn't sure if those give you food or not, so I just figured that I'd focus on getting some wood, the essentials, and this tree took forever to cut down. But it was worth it because it all fell down at once, which is really cool. So I picked up all the crap, made myself a crafting table, and did all the normal stuff. And I had to see if these guys give me food or not. They do not. Sorry, buddy. Then I seen a bear, and being the newborn child that I am, I wanted nothing to do with that fight. I grabbed some stone for a furnace, made that furnace so that when I actually find some food, I could cook it. But here I am looking around, and there's just nothing for me to eat anywhere. I wanted to go into that forest, but anything could spawn in there. There's so many mobs that I added that could just wipe me right out, so I didn't do that. I seen some coal over here, and I figured I'd go grab that because it was already starting to get dark. I went over and grabbed that, then I blocked myself in the ground for the night. I mined the entire night. I had stayed down there way longer than I had intended, and most of the day had passed by the time I came to the surface. I seen what this dude had for literally no reason because I was miles away from having emeralds at this moment. Then I headed to the water to see if maybe I could get myself some fish at least. I jumped in the water and there were some salmon, but there were also piranhas. So I killed one or two salmon and then started getting attacked by piranhas, so I quickly got out. I've been seeing this buffalo wandering around, and I figured I had a shield and maybe it was my chance to try to pick a fight with this guy, and yeah. And it wasn't going too bad. It was going all right until it wasn't. Just watch. And now I was on half a heart. I still had no food, so I made a run for the caves. I seen this pig on my way back, and in a panic, I ate it raw because I really didn't have a choice. I didn't want to stub my toe and die. I made it back to the cave and hid like a coward for the night. I honestly didn't expect food to be this much of an issue this quickly. Anyway, in the morning, I punched these guys for like 10 minutes, finally got myself some food, and finally, I got my health back, so I could go and actually do a little exploring. So I finally went and got a closer look at that forest, and I was trying to pick a spot that I wanted to live, so I just headed around the outside of it, and I kind of wanted to see how big it was as well. And there were a bunch of snakes and anacondas in the water here, and I had just got my health back, and I was still hungry, so I didn't want to mess with that at all, so I hopped in a boat. And almost immediately, I spotted a village. So all of that time I spent trapped in a hole in the wall, starving, and I was 2 minutes away from food. So yeah, 2 days I wasted that I didn't need to, so that's how that went. There were some animals floating in the water here, and I didn't know what they were, but I didn't want to see if they were mean or not, so I just left them floating there. I think they're Tasmanian devils or something, and I almost stepped on an anaconda. This dude, look at him. He's wasting no time chasing me down. And this is just perfect. A village butting right up against the forest that I wanted to live in. This is home. I never do leave this general location in the overworld through this entire playthrough. I had tons of ideas for the forest and the village just running through my head immediately. I took everything I needed and picked a house to be my temporary home. And now that I didn't have to worry about food or shelter, I started taking on projects that were way too big for me right away. I started terraforming where the village meets the forest because I wanted a smooth transition from the village into the forest where I was going to live. And this hole, this gaping canyon in the ground, was the first thing I decided to do with my time. I was planning on just leaving the top of this house exposed and just filling in that hole because I hated it. So, yeah, that's what I did with iron tools before I got any progress made in beating the game. That's what I did. In the process of doing that, I realized that I loved the huge trees in this forest, but literally every single small tree had to go. It was just so overcrowded. So while I was working on filling in this hole, I was also cutting down a lot of trees. And this is the progress I had made so far. All of this was dense trees, and that's how much of the hole I had filled in so far. No, this is not me in creative mode. This is me looking at footage I have from my replay mod. So, looking good. I'd say I'm probably 5% done with removing the trees. At this point, I had moved into the house that I was currently burying and stepped outside this beautiful morning to a creeper, which I took care of no problem. But then I headed down to start gathering more dirt and cutting down more trees, and yeah, I died. I'm just going to play this for you in real time so you can see how that played out. This is why I don't play in hardcore. I was definitely not going to attempt this in hardcore, and I'm so glad that I didn't. I would have been so upset if my forever world ended this way. And how are you supposed to prepare for that? I didn't even see the damn thing. I heard it, thought it was a regular ass bee. Definitely was not a regular ass bee. I think it said it was a executioner. Oh my god. I'm not old enough to say that. An executioner wasp? But yeah. So I got all my stuff. There was no more signs of him, and then I went home and went to bed. And I was already starting to lose my mind cutting down trees and terraforming, so I decided to take a break and make myself an experience and loot farm for when I actually did get good items and needed to enchant and repair them. All I knew is I couldn't stand to cut down any more trees right now, so I needed a break. And if you guys have any tips or anything like that that might help me improve my videos, quality, anything like that, feel free to leave comments down below and let me know, what I should do differently. But do remember, I do just do this for fun, only because I enjoy it. I don't need money. Everything's paid for. I have good money, so this is literally just a hobby. So please do be nice. Now that that was done, I had a way to repair my tools when I get them, so I headed down into the ground to get myself some diamonds. And I was down here for way too freaking long. 2 days to be exact. And with the mods that I have installed, the daylight cycle is extended to an hour. So I was down here for 2 hours to get the diamonds to make 2 tools. I needed mending and unbreaking, so I stayed here re-rolling until I finally got that. And there's a lot of new enchantments added, so it took a while, but I finally got what I needed. So I barricaded these guys in this house here and headed back to my home. I was going to need a whole lot of sticks to do trades, and luckily for me, I'm a hoarder, so I saved them for this very reason. I placed down fletching tables until I found a couple of idiots that would trade sticks. Then I got my books. I remembered that I needed obsidian to make an enchantment table, and of course the rune portal was all the way over on the other side of the forest. Since I was already here, I decided I'd grab all the obsidian that I should need for my portal, so I didn't have to run all the way back over here, ever. I got back home and realized that all I really needed was an anvil, so I didn't need to get that obsidian right now. But hey, I have it for when I need to make a portal, so I guess it wasn't for nothing. And this is where I was currently at, working on filling in that hole and working on the forest, and I realized that I hated this mountain here, and it's kind of exactly where I wanted to put my house. So I started working on that. And when I'd start to get bored out of my mind, I'd head into the forest to cut down more trees and do a little terraforming because I wanted this entire forest to just be beautiful, exactly how I wanted it, and it was just so overcrowded. I really wanted to leave this clip in here because I think it gives a really good scale as to how big this forest actually is. It's really hard for me to capture the scale of it with all of the mods and everything that I have installed, even on this beefy PC. It's difficult for me to render over 20 chunks, so I can't capture nearly all of it. But I think this kind of shows you a little bit of the size of it. But let's go ahead and jump ahead. You get it. I'm cutting down trees, terraforming, fixing everything up. I don't want it to all be time lapses. I get mixed reviews on the time lapses. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's done. That mountain and the mountain next to it that were right in the way of where I wanted to build are gone, along with 90% of the trees in the forest. So we're good to go. Let's go ahead and jump in the nether. Actually, this won't work. I need diamond armor. Okay, that's better. Now we can go. And man, I know I'm the one who put this mod pack together, but I did not realize that the nether sounded this gross. Popping snot bubbles and dripping goop. Listen to that mess. Freaking gross. These guys look pretty cool though. Anyway, getting distracted here. So I started looking for the fortress, obviously, and left a trail of torches because it's pretty dang foggy. You can't really see very far. I've seen this blood. It looks like blood, and I didn't know if it would cause damage or not, so I made a little bridge over it. Then I got attacked by these guys. I do not remember seeing these guys when I put the mod pack together, but they're here, and they're everywhere, and really annoying. I'm just going to cut out the 3.5 hours that it took me to actually find the fortress and pretend like it didn't happen. So here we go, we found the fortress right away. I pulled out my sniper skills, but the dang blaze rods just kept falling in the lava, so I had to move in for a little close range combat. I got 10 blaze rods, then I put it in hyperspeed to get the hell out of there. I bridged like this in every direction, and of course, the direction the fortress was actually in was the last one that I tried, but I figured I'd leave this in here so you realized how far I actually had to bridge. I got home, took a quick nap, then I stored all my crap, and headed right back in for some piggy trades. And 18 Eyes of Ender should be enough, right? And we're off to the stronghold. Man, I tell you what, I really actually enjoyed this because every single time I threw a pearl and went around the next corner, it was another beautiful forest. I mean, the biomes and trees in this, it makes you feel so small. Like Minecraft is just the biggest place in the world. It was really cool. And this stronghold is so cool. After a little while, I forgot what I was even there for, and I was just exploring. I was in there probably a couple of hours, and look at this place. No wonder I couldn't find the damn portal. It was just massive. Eventually, I got the portal lit, laid down a bed, stored all of the stuff that I had gathered in there in a chest, and I hopped in. And immediately I realized that this was not going to be your standard dragon fight. Even the Enderman, like this Enderman right here, he can teleport you to random locations if he gets too close. I don't like those guys. They end up being a pain in my ass. But I'm going to stop yapping for a minute and let you guys watch this dragon spawn animation because I think it's pretty dang cool. And let me explain how this goes. So, you can actually melee the dragon because you have to climb up a tower in the middle of this little building here, and when he hits you back like the normal dragon, but he hits you into a wall and nearly one-shot you every single time. And on top of that, all of the Endermen target the dragon for whatever reason, and they follow him up into the middle of that building when he perches. So there's also that I have to deal with while I'm in there. So basically, meleeing him was out of the question. So I had to bow him the entire time. And on top of that, all but two of the crystals were protected by fence, so I couldn't shoot them, and I had to pillar up to almost all of them. I'm not a speed runner by any means, but I can normally kill the dragon, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, give or take, just depends how it goes. And this took me an hour and 6 minutes. I did not enjoy it. Anyway, here's a quick time lapse of that fight. Oh my gosh. I was so freaking happy when this was over. I know an hour and 6 minutes doesn't seem like that long, but when you're just constantly dodging Enderman the entire time, I was so glad it was over. It was the longest dragon fight I had ever experienced. Never again in this mod pack am I fighting that dragon. I got out of here real quick to break my bed. Then I hopped straight back in to go get myself an Elytra. And I want to leave a few of these clips in here because I want you to see how much of a pain these Endermen are. You don't even have to look at them. These dudes just attack you as soon as you're nearby. Man, I tell you what, definitely the most annoying mob that got added. Easily. If these guys were in the overworld, I would have either quit this 100 days or found a way to remove them, because it would have just been terrible. Then I seen whatever the hell that is. Look at that damn thing. What the hell even is that? Creepy little dude. I actually don't even think this dude would have attacked me if I just left him alone, but hey, I guess I'm the bad guy here. I got lucky. It actually didn't take me too long to find an end city, but I still don't know what the hell these guys are. I was never able to hit them or anything like that, and they never bothered me, but yeah, they were just all over. And I turned my shaders off because I got sick of not being able to see very far, and I just didn't want anything obstructing my vision when I went up here. Then I seen these flying fish, maybe? Whatever the hell they are. But there was a lot of them. I didn't want anything to do with them. And I got what I came here for. And on my way out, I decided to kill a couple of shulkers so I can make a couple of shulker boxes, obviously. And there was this dude, a ditto dude or whatever. He copied me. He did whatever I did. And I couldn't kill him, no matter what I did. I couldn't win the fight. There must be a trick to it. I didn't know the trick, and it wasn't a good fight. I was getting destroyed, so I ran. He followed me for quite a while, but I was able to pearl away and finally make my way out of here. Since I broke my bed, I was sent back to spawn, and I quickly made my way home. Then I had a quick celebration with carrots for some reason. And I set my spawn. I enchanted my Elytra with unbreaking and mending, like you do, and then I made this automatic sugarcane farm up here at the experience and loot farm. So while I was up here getting gunpowder, I could also be growing paper. Now that I had rockets, I headed off exploring a bit for something I had my eye on for quite a while now. There is a headset you can make if you get elk antlers that gives you knockback at all times. Hey, look. I found a bunch of seals. But I wasn't finding any elk. I know I had seen some around here earlier on in the playthrough, but they were just gone. I grabbed some sand while I was here because I was going to need a bunch of glass for my house. And I decided I was going to deal with another problem I was having. Pillagers. They were all over where I was trying to build my new house, and I was afraid to kill them because I didn't want to get bad omen or whatever and have a raid start because I live right at a village, so I had to find some milk. But there were no cows anywhere. There a million other mobs, but I haven't seen a single cow this entire playthrough. So I eventually gave up. No cows. And when I got back home, there was a tree on fire. So that's freaking awesome. I had to deal with that, and this thing was spreading way too freaking fast.
Wait a minute!
Just look at that!
I got the fire put out and fixed the tree because I liked it. Luckily, I'm not entirely useless because while I was doing that, I actually heard the cow that was right here. Literally right next to where I live this entire time. My god. And now that I have milk, the next pillagers that I see are goners. No more running around just letting them live amongst us. Better yet, I actually know where they live. I won that fight. Don't worry about it. Mind your own business. I'm fine. And now, after all of this time, I finally get to go start working on my house. And I had an idea. I was just gonna start building and see what happens. And, oh yeah, never mind. I forgot I already did that. I thought I had a couple of pieces of netherite around here, but I couldn't find them anywhere, so I guess I was gonna head to the nether for a couple of years.
You often stop to ponder about how huge the universe is and how insignificant we really are.
I couldn't find a single one.
I just don't get it.
Then it occurred to me I know just what to do. I give up. What the hell are you doing in here? Since I was having the worst luck imaginable finding netherite, I headed back to the house and started working on it a bit more. I needed some more diorite so I could put more diorite fences up outside, so I headed down into the mines. And yes, I added an elevator mod. I love it. It's so cool. You can actually just establish an awesome mine shaft and add different levels to it so you don't have to climb underground every time. You could just click the floor you want to go to, and yeah, I like it a lot. Pretty cool. I finished up all of my fences and started placing down a bunch of lanterns, and then I ran out of iron, so yeah, iron farm. I got a little ahead of myself. I'm gonna need a lot of rails because it's pretty close, but it's quite a distance to deal with boating the villagers all the way over there, so I headed down into the mines to grab some rails. Just doing my thing, fighting spiders, and I got attacked by this giant cave centipede. Look at this thing. He poisoned the shit out of me. And these guys I know about. I've seen other Minecraft videos, and if you don't have diamond armor, they kill you pretty easily. So I'm glad I had diamond armor. Can somebody tell me what the hell this is? I thought I just added animals and bugs and crap. I don't remember adding this, but it's some kind of witch, I guess. But it scared the crap out of me. It's very loud. I'm actually gonna turn the volume down a bit, so you don't have to lose your eardrums like I did. But yeah. So that freaked me out a little bit, and I didn't want to deal with any more of those things. So I decided I might be better off just caving and getting some iron the old-fashioned way. And time to start moving these guys. Just getting this one dude in the boat was a pain. I've done this probably 100 times since I started playing Minecraft, and I have never had this much trouble getting a villager in a boat before. And we're off. Have boats always been this slow? Let's all just pretend that he got right in the minecart super easily without issue, because he didn't. Here's the ugly-ass rail I set up to get these guys over here, but I think we're going to cut till the iron farm is done, because nobody wants to watch me do this 100 times. I tried to make sure that I put it close enough to my house so that anytime I was here, I was just automatically getting free iron, and man, was it satisfying to just peek off of the roof and just see it working properly over there. So now I don't have to worry about iron anymore. I just AFK'd during the night, and look at this. Just look how much iron I got just from sitting at my house overnight without doing anything. Man, I love it. What I didn't love was how damn slow this experience farm was. It was good for rockets, gunpowder, and paper, but for actual experience, man, I was losing my mind up there. That means an Enderman experience farm, and it's been a long time since I've been to the stronghold, so I didn't remember the way. I had to make more Eyes of Ender, and yeah, but I made my way there. I figured I'd leave this in so you realize how ridiculously far away this is. But yeah, this isn't nearly as bad with the Elytra, but on foot, it took quite a while. And we're here. Only took 2 minutes. That is more like it. No more waiting around for experience. Nice, quick. Ridiculously quick, actually. I don't remember it ever working this well, but it works amazing. I was going to do an epic time-lapse of me making this Enderman farm, but I have 16 hours of corrupt recordings because I just kept on playing and didn't pay any attention that my recording software was glitched out and I was recording a blank screen. So I have 16 hours of audio. So those of you who hate my time lapses, you get it your way this time. Now that I was pretty comfortable in this world, I had everything important settled out. I had my experience, you know, my mob farm. I had everything set up. I wasn't really needing anything. I started focusing on trying to find them damn elk or moose antlers, whatever they were. I needed the antlers so I could make that headset because I really wanted to have knockback on any weapon I was using at all times. Yeah, look at this dude. First alligator I've seen, I think. Pretty cool. I've seen this random building just right in the middle of the woods, so I had to go check that out. Hey, a koala. Not what I want. I ended up stumbling across another village. I think this is the Savannah village, how it looks now. Really cool, though. I've never seen one of these before. It's neat. Hey, a rhino. I might have to get me one of them. I flew over another village that was lighting off fireworks. I don't... Is that a normal Minecraft thing? I've never seen that before. Hey, I found a cherry grove. I'm gonna have to stop and grab a couple of trees. I'm not gonna pass this up. I'll probably never see it again. But there was a lot of tigers here. So I avoided them. I cut down a couple of trees. But yeah, there's like 20 of them here. See, they're just all over. I didn't want to risk it with them guys, so I got on out of here. Still no antlers, but man, on my way home, look at these trees. I immediately wanted to build like a little village up in the top of these trees, and look at this. There's already a village right down below them. So if I continue this video and make like a second series to it or whatever, I'll probably start by building up there because, yeah, I think that would be really cool. Those trees are so big. They gotta be pretty close to build limit. I went to bone meal a cherry tree and I realized that the trees grow totally different than they normally do. So if I wanted a big cherry tree right now, it was going to take like 200 bone meal. And then I got curious of how big I could actually get it. So I scrounged up every single tiny little bit of bone meal I had and used it all on this tree. And it got pretty big. Pretty good sized cherry tree right there. And it was time to go find me a smithing template. I had already been to this bastion earlier on when I was looking for the fortress, but I had iron armor and I was pretty afraid to go in here, so I flew by it a few times and I kind of had a general idea where the chest was, so I dug a hole through the ceiling and dropped down like a ninja, and I got super lucky and there happened to be a smithing template right there. And we're just going to pretend that I remembered exactly how to duplicate these and didn't have to look it up after failing to duplicate them for like 20 minutes. Yeah. I found my chest that had the netherite hidden in it. I knew I had a couple of them. Anyway, I had just enough to upgrade my sword. Looking back at this, I probably should have upgraded my pickaxe or something first. But anyway. And now I had a serious diamond shortage, so I had it down into the mines. I did add another level to this to where one's iron level and then one's diamond level. So I had it down to diamond level, and obviously you know what I did down there. I didn't just want to do traditional strip mining. Obviously I was going to, but I wanted to open up the middle of it just so it felt big down here. I kind of wanted to be building something cool while I was mining for diamonds instead of just coming down here for diamonds. So I was going to leave some of the ore exposed and open it up nice and big, and yeah, that's what I did. And it was looking pretty good. You could kind of see some of the work that I was doing. That was the goal. Then I got completely distracted for like 4 days because I found this massive amethyst geode right next to my mine, and I had to just dig it out because I wanted you to just, as soon as you got down here, just to be able to see the entire thing. So yeah, I dug that out for like 4 days. I will say, after I seen how it looked, I was not happy with how I spent my time. I mean, it was kind of cool, but in order for me to make it look how I wanted, I had a lot more digging to do, and I was over digging, so yeet. I really needed to repair my pickaxe, so I stopped at the mob grinder that was right by my house. Then I remembered how painfully slow it was. Yeah, it was definitely going to be faster to fly all the way to my Enderman experience farm, so that's what I did. I repaired everything I had, then stuck around here and gathered some extra experience since I was already here. And I really wanted a faster way to get back and forth from my house to the Enderman experience farm. I have a waystone mod installed, but the recipe wasn't showing up, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to make a damn waystone. So I needed a temporary solution. Then I remembered I found a lodestone when I was in the Nether, so I went and grabbed that. Made myself a compass. Figured out how this dang thing worked, because I've never made one before. Then all I had to do was go and put the sucker all the way back over by the stronghold. I get lost easy. Now I'll never have to look for this place again, so big win. since I didn't really need to repair anything or any experience, I figured since I was already here, I would fly around and, there was a few things that I wanted. I definitely wanted to get some shulker boxes. And I know I think it's a spire armor trim you can get from here. So I was hoping I could get lucky enough to find one of those. I'm not sure how rare they are. And I also wanted to grab some spare elytras because one of the mods I added, it added an upgrade recipe to the elytra where you can, I think it's with executioner wasp wings, if I'm not mistaken, but you can add enchantments to it after you upgrade it like you can a normal chest piece. So I can have protection, fire res, and things like that. And so I really wanted to get a few extras so I could do that. I definitely got more than I needed. Once I had about everything that I could carry, I got on out of there, popped my shaders back on, and stashed all the crap I got. And holy cow, look at all this. Tons of good stuff. Then I made a bunch of shulker boxes. No more worrying about a full inventory. That was driving me nuts. Then I peeked over and happened to notice that no iron golems were spawning. So there was something going on over there. So I ran over there and yep, it indeed wasn't working. And that is because my zombie died. I don't know how this happened. Anyway, maybe one of the golems was able to reach him somehow. Anyway, he's dead, so now I had to get ready to capture another one, and I was going to need another name tag. So I got everything set up and ready to catch a zombie when it got dark. I was just going to try to lure one over here. But first I needed another name tag. I remembered there was a dungeon over here, and after a little while I found where it was. Then I climbed down to the center of the freaking earth. Look how deep this thing is. And this place was already creepy. I didn't need anything creepy to happen for it to be creepy, but it did. Listen to this. That sound is not edited in. That is in-game audio, and it was freaking me out. And I was so distracted by that sound. It's all I could hear down here just over and over and over again. So I went out of my way to try to find it, and it sounded like it was right on top of me, and there was nothing there. Maybe it was really a ghost, but I decided if I couldn't even find it, it can't cause me any harm. So I gave up. I just headed further in. After all, I was here for a name tag, not a ghost. And just like that, I found one. Then I got the hell out of there. I never did figure out what that sound was, but I really would like to know. I got back home and used my powers of creativity. And now we were ready to catch another zombie. And it was daytime, so zombies weren't spawning. So instead of doing that, I installed a waystone mod so that I could teleport between different locations. All I had to do was figure out how to make them, place them where I wanted them, and boom, just like that. This should definitely be a normal thing in vanilla Minecraft. Why would it not? Well, you set up a farm or something 20 minutes away. As long as you have the material to build this, why, it's awesome being able to teleport back and forth. Why is this not a thing? Well, it's a thing now, for me at least. I'm using it. And since I was so damn sick of every time I needed to repair a tool, flying for like 15 minutes just to get over to my Enderman experience farm, I figured that I would go and get that over with now. I was motivated, knowing that this would be the very last time that I had to fly all the way out there, because now I can teleport. Man, I love that. So convenient. I also flew over to these two trees that I wanted to build in because I was definitely going to do something here eventually. So I actually tried capturing a few zombies, and I wasn't able to get them to stay in the cart, and then just after a couple of nights, anyway, I gave up. I'll do it later, all right? But I realized that my other farm, it worked decent for getting bone meal and crap like that, but gunpowder was really slow. So I decided to make myself a gunpowder farm, an automatic gunpowder farm, and Yeah, I had to follow a video for this one, and my brain wasn't firing on all cylinders, so I kept messing stuff up, but eventually I got it right. The main issue I had with this is not an issue that you would normally have playing Minecraft, but I added cockroaches, and cockroaches kept spawning in here, and they would stop the creepers from spawning, and yeah, so I had to actually go into the files and disable the cockroaches. And when it was all said and done, this was my AFK farm. I just sat up here and gunpowder automatically collected down below. So, yeah, no more shortage of gunpowder. Rockets for days. I AFK'd for the night, then I went down and collected all the gunpowder that I had got and climbed back up to the surface, and I seen that dude.
I want that one.
You have been selected.
So I went back over to my old house because I knew I had a saddle over there. Then I headed back over because I had to capture that dude. I wanted him. Bad. Because I never had one before, and I just wanted him. And what the hell is that? Is that a normal thing that happens? I've never seen that happen before. And what I thought was going to be me just coming over here, hopping on a horse, grabbing it, and running away turned into like a 15-minute battle that I couldn't bring myself to walk away from. So I sat here fighting off hordes of bullshit that kept spawning, and I don't know why there were so many skeleton horses, but yeah, eventually I made my way home with the skeleton horse that was probably the slowest one of the bunch. Look at this. It's just, I could probably run this fast, honestly. Anyway, I got him home. Now I have him. So I started looking at some of the armor that I had been planning on upgrading, and I was 99% sure that I had the wings that I needed to upgrade my Elytra. So I went to my old house.
Hello there.
And I was so stoked. I loved how these looked, and I was so excited to be able to put protection and fire res and stuff like that on here and not have to take it off every time I was going to get in a fight. And then here I realized that when I made it, it took the mending and unbreaking enchantment that I had on it off. I was not happy about that. But there was nothing I could do about it, so I started doing more villager trades and getting ready to put the enchantments back on there that I lost. And hey, look at this. As soon as it got dark, I finally did that thing. I got zombie number 2 up here, forever doing laps. Okay, back to the enchanting. And I spent so long doing this. I couldn't find the villagers that had the enchantments I wanted. Then I ended up just getting more experience to go to the enchantment table to just try to get what I was looking for randomly. And yeah, I ended up settling doing it that way. And this is better than what I had on my normal Elytra, so I can't really complain. Mending, Unbreaking 3, Protection 3, so I wasn't going to have to take it off every time. That's a win. And I just woke up angry today. The amount of time that I have spent looking for elk antlers, somebody had to pay. Everybody was going to pay. So these guys were the closest to me when I logged on, so they kind of got it first. So I headed off, hoping to find some more elk. And at first I thought these guys were elk. They weren't, but they still had to pay. I'm telling you, I remember this day. I was angry, looking for a fight. I stumbled across this thing that I had never seen before, so I figured I could head down in there and see what the hell it was all about. It was about zombies. Lots and lots of zombies. They literally didn't stop coming. They were spawning, and there were hidden spawners everywhere. It was just so many of them. And yeah, there was good loot, but the zombies, it was annoying. There were so many. And it went on like this for, I don't know, about 20 minutes. And then I started getting pretty bored, and I wanted to get out of there, but I couldn't remember how to get out of here. This place was huge. But look at this. I had gathered so much crap that I was running out of room anyway, so there was no point in sticking around. So I started looking for my way out. After a little while, I actually seen light, and a part of this dungeon or cave or whatever it was exposed. Look at this. This is freaking cool. Anyway, I got out of there, and I headed to the Enderman farm to repair my wings. I actually stayed here longer than I needed, but something about hitting these dudes, it's addicting. What can I say? So I got back to looking for my damn antlers, and look at this. 2 villages this close together. Anyway, I thought it was cool, but look at this. Right here, now you can't tell me this doesn't look like where a moose or elk would live. I mean, right? Wrong. There was nothing there. But man, look how beautiful this place is. This wouldn't have been a bad place to make a little base or something. I don't know. I liked it here for some reason. Beautiful forests in every direction with a nice open place to build here. But yeah, I got distracted here for a little while. And man, for a second, from a distance, I thought that my antlers were here, but I was wrong. And watch this. Watch how high, look how far he just launched me. That's crazy. But I moved on and stumbled across the dark forest. Look how big these trees are. The dark forest just look so cool like this now. Obviously, the trees are still loading in, but it's cool as hell. And I just continued searching, and I was starting to think that I wasn't going to end up finding any of my antlers, and then, boom, right there. I finally found them. And I killed a couple of them, and they don't drop anything. So I looked it up, and they shed their antlers once in a great while if they're rendered in. It's like every 7 days or something like that. And yeah, so I had to drag this guy so far. I had to get him back to my house, and it took days. But I wanted to leave this place so you guys could see how freaking far I had to bring this guy. And keep in mind that I had to do this twice because there had to be 2 of them so that they could hit their antlers together and then they could shed their antlers and I had to pick them up. So this whole thing turned into much more difficult of a task than I had anticipated. But yeah, I did it, and when it was over, I was so happy. And man, the sound of these things, I can't stand it. It's not so bad just seeing them on occasion, but when they're at your house, constantly yelling at each other and hitting their antlers together, I couldn't wait till I didn't need them anymore, man. I tell you what. Skipping right to the last day that I had to hear these guys. Right there. The last antlers that I needed. I ran inside immediately to craft my antler headset, and look at that. And I wasted absolutely no time getting rid of these guys. Man. Then I enchanted it, which took a long time, but anyway, I had my headset, had it all enchanted, and I installed a mod that gives you more health and more speed as your level goes up. And I installed that. Well, I had it installed, but I activated it, and then I went to the Enderman farm and got a whole bunch of levels. So if I chose to, I could run around super powerful if I just didn't spend any of my levels and let them accumulate. Yeah, it was pretty dang cool. I was having fun with it, you know. But I also didn't want to be stuck with it, because running around this fast was a little annoying at times. So I installed a mod where I could actually store the experience levels that I had, so I could take it down to health and speed that I was comfortable with. And I was cool with this. I was having fun with it. You know, I'm playing by myself. I'm not competing with anybody. And at this point in the game, nothing was really a challenge anymore anyway, so I was having fun. It was pretty cool though. And if you're curious about these mods, one is called Global XP, that's the one where you store experience, and then the other one is XP Ascend, that's the one where you get stronger as you level up, obviously. Well, look how freaking OP it is with that knockback headset and my ascended leveling or whatever you want to call it. It was just, it's definitely broken. I wouldn't recommend playing the entire game with this installed because as soon as you get like 20 levels, it would just make the game too easy because that's just ridiculous. But I do recommend trying it because it is fun. I did head back over to these guys to test out my new superpowers, and they are indeed superpowers. It's just watch this. Yeah, just one shot. I'm not even taking any damage. Look at that. That's too OP. If I pick back up on this particular 100 days video ever, I'll definitely be removing this because it kind of takes any challenge out of it. Well, not kind of. It definitely takes any challenge out of it. You're basically indestructible. So, and that was pretty much my 100 days playthrough of very modded Minecraft. There was quite a bit of stuff I didn't have time to show you, and some stuff got corrupt and I wasn't able to show you. One of the things, I spent a lot of time working on the village. I put white railing all through the village and replaced some of the bricks in every single house with white and just kind of made it feel like my own. Like as you can see here, I put white through here and just kind of redid a bunch of stuff and made it more original. But yeah. If you enjoyed the very modded Minecraft 100 days video, let me know down in the comments below. I'll definitely consider making another one, but I probably won't do to where every day is an hour again because this was just so much. That was, literally over 100 hours of footage, and I just can't show you all of it. So it's like the majority of all of my recordings are just there for no reason. There's no way I can get this video into just an hour, all of those recordings in just an hour. So basically it's just a quick summary of how it went for me, but I had a lot of fun. It was pretty dang awesome. It was a good experience. It was definitely not like normal Minecraft, and I recommend, taking the time to try to put the same mod pack together as I did for a playthrough because it's a good time. So, yeah, thanks for watching. You have a good one. See ya.